Rars and things and stuffs. And oh, my arms hurt. Well, sore. Not pain. How's everyone doing today? On this whatever day it happens to be. I am half asleep still. Yay! Didn't sleep well. Oh well. I'm awake enough for this. I've got water. That's the important part. My controller decided it hadn't been touched long enough just as I picked it up to try to do things. Okay, let's see. Right, we were in the talking phase. So let me interact with Campfire again? No. Okay. Who to talk to first? Are there only 4 stars? You. There's Law. Renwell. Okay, so Shionne will be last, it looks like. Oh, let's start with the Dohalim.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shionne is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us.
Oh, right. Thorns leading to the end of the world.
Still, it's hard to fathom something
Not a good
that could
situation.
usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shionne doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
I remember the voice.
I remember. It was the will of
thanks for the
Dan's
hydrate,
astral
Drake.
energy come to life. Or that's what we all thought.
Right.
Don't need that.
And
Need
from
the
that,
water.
we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shionne in Pelagian. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their
I've got a
will is
Wardus
what
with me.
keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say?
Oh no, banned.
I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time
Which
being.
one of us is banned? Wardus or Nyx?
Right.
We're all banned. Was I really partially caught on Dohalim there and it wasn't letting me move it? Huh. Weird spot to catch.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from
The
those
Bandai
thorns again,
Namco
didn't
physics.
Oh, that? That was nothing.
you? Compared to what Shionne's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shionne wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shionne doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
Code Vein, Cyber Sleuth,
I
and
just
Petty,
want for
they're all
Shionne
similar
what we all
problems.
have. The
Yeah, I've
ability
noticed
to
that in Code
touch
Vein.
someone without the fear
For
of
sure.
killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
It's a really
Agreed.
crappy trolley problem.
It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it.
Except in this trolley problem, if you don't choose to direct it towards the one dies anyways.
That's not a very good trolley problem.
No. It's okay, they're trying to make a new track.
Good. We should have a proper trolley problem if we're going to have a moral dilemma.
Can't sleep?
After
Can't sleep, won't
everything we
sleep.
just heard,
Wait,
how could I?
that's
Fair
not how it
enough.
goes.
Shionne's had to deal with so much on her
Pretty
own.
sure it is with you.
Even when we were all
Uh-oh.
laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close.
I mean,
I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know?
it's not entirely
But
inaccurate.
It turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
If she didn't think of us as friends,
often being good
I
dad
don't think
doing
she
well.
could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shionne's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
Aw, that's sweet, Renwell.
Hi, Drake. Hi, Lion.
Alright, Farmer Law. What's on your mind?
Did you know?
Ooh, random
You
fact.
mean about Shionne?
Yeah,
Oh.
I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought.
Doesn't
In
mean we
reality,
always
I
see
didn't
everything.
understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her. No matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shionne, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we.
Yay.
Alvin.
I know.
Whee.
No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Definitely pat you on the back.
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law,
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shionne. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll
Won't
think
we
it over
all?
more then. That okay?
I worry
Yeah,
about
I
this
think
one
it
over
is.
here all the time.
Are you worried about me?
All the time. Hi, Wabbit.
Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry.
Well, you did just threaten to
As
shoot
much
Alpha.
as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
Because people care.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
How many episodes ago was that?
No? When was that?
When was?
Sorry, I can't remember.
That's
Thank you,
okay.
This is not a copy.
It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you
No,
forgot.
Wardis needs to be worried about. Hey, Jack.
I was different back then.
Hey, Jack.
The Danans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment,
Ban Jack.
I'd
Done.
only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword
Fancy.
and to
Fabulous.
obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two. And before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend.
Ooh, sappy things in English.
Before
Hit
then, I never even
burns.
dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
That's a bit of a conundrum.
Shionne.
But then I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time.
I'm being quite serious. Yeah,
saying
I
how I
know
felt,
there are a lot of people
and
who
hearing
just
what you all had to say,
despise the English
I
vocals.
finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water.
Just can't do sappy and corny shit in English.
I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
That's a good portion of this game in
It's
English.
going to be
Ugh.
a long, hard road ahead, Shionne. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renans, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in
I just blow
Calaglia?
up both planets.
There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
I'll
Yeah.
defeat you with the power of
I
friendship
think you may be right about
and
that.
with this burning sword I pulled out of a girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Wardis needs to be on the loud one.
Yes. How many people lost their ears done that?
Members who left have returned to your party.
Everyone well rested?
Why did
Then
you
let's
not
go.
proceed
We
that
depart for
that would be
Lenegis.
Me?
Because you were being calmer earlier.
Calm is an illusion.
Huh? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, we thought we'd turn the tables and critique your appearance for a change.
Oh.
It's not fair if we're the only ones subjected to it.
What?
Did you guys hear? Apparently, she found that dress of hers in some old ruins.
Alphen, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you care to tell us your verdict?
Sure, I guess. To be honest, when I first saw Shionne in that dress, I
Quit it!
was absolutely captivated.
All right, I think that's enough fun for one day.
I don't think Alphen was joking. Cook before
It's
resting.
very obvious that he wasn't. She's not former. She's Wardis, silly next. Who's former? And why are they even taking my missions?
That's EXP boost.
This came out so good.
While you run
I
around
almost hate having
before
to eat
actually
it.
leaving.
Probably not.
Which one? She's actually a little low on loud. Huh. Let's bump the loud up to there. It did seem like a larger jump between them. Just didn't have a good reference point. How about now?
Sure, we could try that.
Is she close to the mic?
I don't know. I don't know.
She was saying a little further back. Kisara.
Kisara, let's talk for a
Echo.
bit.
Echo!
I've been thinking about what we discussed earlier. His
Echo!
reasons might not have been pure, but in the end, Dohalim still made Elder Menencia a place where Danans and Renans can
Yeah.
coexist. I thought everyone would welcome that change, with open arms. I took pride in what we had without
Was she
putting
still
in the
echoing?
work to truly solidify it. After so much failure, do you think I even have the right to pursue my ideals?
It doesn't matter what I think. You've already found your answer, haven't you?
Or was it just for the one line?
I know what I want to say.
Because it might have been when
but
I was
can't help
swapping
but wonder if I'm being selfish.
vocals.
Everybody makes mistakes in life, Kisara. Everybody. It's what you do afterwards that matters. But you already knew that, right?
Yeah. I won't look away from the world any longer. I'll do my best to confront reality, so that we don't lose anyone else, ever again. More to the point, Dohalim needs someone who can push him forward. I think we both get lost in our sorrow too easily when we focus on the past.
If we see that happening, we'll set him straight. Don't worry. We'll look out for both of you. I have to say, though, if you turned out this well modeling yourself after Miguel, he really must have been a great man.
Oh, don't get her started
What,
on her
you
brother.
didn't believe me before? I'm pretty sure I've been going on about him since I joined up. If you need more convincing, I've got plenty more stories about
Oh
him.
no, here she goes.
Maybe another time.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay.
He took the hint, it was just a little late.
Rise and shine. We're almost ready to leave.
All right, let's do some checks before we leave.
I think you're still solo.
You mean after that message about all the party members who left have rejoined?
I think you're still solo.
Ah. Is Mike echoing still? What? How is she echoing still?
The power of me.
Huh. Talk softly?
Softly.
Okay, some OBS issue. It's actually reading it for... My mic is only being picked up for my mic. Her mic is registering on both mine and hers for some reason. I don't get why.
Switch the outputs all over the place.
If I talk now, okay. If you talk,
And then, is it still doing the same thing?
not quite as much. Like, it's not even now. Like, try talking.
Okay, I'm gonna try talking now.
Why are you being picked up so easily over here?
Sure, it's usually not that easy, is it?
Let's go back to Sip Mike Mid.
Alright, then how's that going to affect though? Is it actually affecting it?
No, let's hear from them. Really quiet.
Huh?
Better. Okay.
Huh?
Is there still an echo?
I'm too quiet for the loud setting? Hmm.
Do. Right, I was about to check this. But yeah, is there still an echo? No echo. Wonder what's up with the loud one. Weird. Oh, thanks for the hydrate, Drake. Gonna head here and see if we have the right book. Returning
Church
in.
mouse halter?
Very quiet.
Never heard that phrase.
Something like quiet as a church mouse.
Hmm.
Library first. Okay, straight through. We're doing some of the simple follow-ups or checkups.
Yesterday, Zorlay's been paranoid about how the recent trauma has affected the system. Since, you know, trauma awakens altars.
Yeah.
We just had all of our altars.
Good grief.
There she goes, lost in another one of her books. Hey.
Hey!
Hey, ran well.
Whoa!
What's got you all worked up, bird? I ain't doing anything wrong.
Huh?
What is it, Law? Need something? No.
Where's the book she was holding?
I just wanted to make sure you were still paying attention since you had your nose buried in that dusty old book. That dusty old book is a valuable artifact. One that I think was written right after the Great Conquest. For real? What's it say? Anything neat?
Well,
I don't know that I would call it neat, but I definitely found something intriguing. Really common British phrase, as quiet as a church mouse. Hey, I did know the phrase. It mentions something about a phantom flower of Navira.
Huh?
Navira? As in the Navira snow plains near Sizzleden? The ones with the lake?
yeah.
Yep, the one and only. The book claims that a long time ago, there used to be a beautiful flower along the banks that could only be seen at night. Well, if that's true, how come I haven't heard of this flower until now? We both know how dark it used to be until Alphen and Shionne came along. Maybe nobody went out of their way to look for it? Plus, that period of darkness in Sislodia wasn't natural nighttime either.
I guess...
That's a good point. You want to go investigate it and see if it's true then?
Huh?
Really? You'd help me look for it? Oh, but we don't have that kind of time to spare right now, do we? You want to find it, don't you?
Got it.
Then let's ask the group if we can search for it next time we're in the area. Sound good?
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Law. The Phantom Flower of Navira. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about seeing one. Me too. When are you gonna play Every Devil May Cry? Good question. Okay. Don't be shy about bringing me lots and lots of books now. I'll be here eagerly awaiting them. Okay, so we still don't have the next book she wants.
Are we gonna play the DLC?
Meh?
I get we have a small time limit thing we do.
Hmm?
Nothing clear, but that we decide that we hit a time limit and no more sessions as soon as it's complete.
Yeah, kinda. Like, we finish the game and usually don't do too much more after. You've been muted.
Oh, alright.
Hey, Alphen, you mind if we take a bit of a detour?
It's fine by me, but what for?
Rinwell says there's a phantom flower that grows around here. We want to look for it. It won't take long, promise.
A flower, huh? All right, let's take a look.
Nice little continuity after that
Mm-hmm.
for the shoutouts.
Yep.
We
Does it have to be night?
Flash. I'm hoping cutscene-itis will kick in and it'll be night for whatever scene triggers. Oh, you were doing a mute. See?
Look
Oh.
out!
What the hell is that? Hey, you want a piece of me?
Stay calm, Law. It's coming for us.
Right.
His deer. Oh, level 54 Menelaus. Menelaus?
You just had to make things difficult for us, didn't you?
Wardus.
Yeah.
Wardus.
Yeah. One moment.
Pause the game at least.
Oh.
Ay.
Okay, mission start! Mission not start.
In here. I'll stop its charge. Thanks, Kisara.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Forgive me.
No.
That's such a innocent little conversation. Why'd you heal me? To stop dying? To make you play every Devil May Cry. You're not gonna beat it. See, that's a challenge.
Thanks for the healing.
Watch yourself, okay?
Yeah, you too. I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Don't forget, Dohalim gets better if you get a dodge in. So if you see him
Yeah.
charging right at you, maybe try to time a dodge.
Ready to go. From death's abyss.
The camera doesn't go high enough.
Hear my call.
For what?
It just would feel more comfortable if the camera could go higher.
Ah.
Forgive me.
Resurrection.
This is my fault.
Hold on to your arms. Here I come.
Well, at least you did dodge. Not that one, though.
Bring you back from death's abyss.
Casually turning in place. Dead. That's one of the lights I was talking about. Oh.
What did I tell you? Don't get in our way. No rest for the kid. What?
Oh.
Flames?
Watch out! It's changing its attack.
Fancy.
Freeze Lancer. From death's abyss.
Take this. My reach is even wider. Begin. Take this.
Not gonna resurrect or leaving it to Shionne. Well, you're dead right now.
I was going to resurrect myself.
Maybe with a life bottle?
I don't think we could beat it.
You just had to make things difficult for us, didn't you?
What are you muttering
Wait, also. No, it was on semi-auto already.
about? Focus or you'll get hurt.
Don't worry, I'll have this wrapped up in a flash.
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just like where I'm here to stop it. Light astral energy rage here.
I could do without this pain. You must be tired.
I thought... Yeah.
Killing me. I'm merely doing what I can. Let's run up.
Here goes.
Heal my wearied companion.
And Cyrus angry.
Forgive me. This is my fault.
It jumping in place and turning, being an attack, is... It looks so... non-threatening when it does it.
We could get Rich on the case.
Then tonight's meal is on you. You've got it. I'll face you. No further.
Stay away from my friend! No escape! No escape! Double demon fang!
Bestow thy mystic mercy.
You can't catch me. Can't catch me.
She is strong. She can handle herself.
Look sharp! Lightning fire blade! What did I tell you?
Hmm.
No way!
What the? Flames? Watch out! It's changing its attack! I owe you, Shionne. Healing is what my arts do best. All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
It does only have one attack.
In here!
What's up?
It does only have 2 attacks.
You wanna say
It
that
does
again?
only have 3 attacks. So the idea is that you hold its aggro since your main player?
Yep.
It's kind of a strategy you've always had.
I've always said crap. I didn't mean to do the second one. Strategy I've always had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you realize the AI typically just goes for the player character, no matter who they're actually using.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Today it hates everyone but player 1.
Oh, Dolim got revived right as Shionne went down. Dolim, your revive, please? Thanks.
CP.
Not arts. Items. Penny apple. Heard you like double demon fang. It's just a very safe attack to keep doing for
Yeah.
the range.
Sleep now. There's no telling what it'll do.
Here we go again.
The enemy is going all out.
Don't worry, it only has 3 attacks.
This is some punishment.
Sleep now.
And now I'm the stubborn one. Huh.
No rest for the wicked.
Oh, it still has only 3 attacks.
This'll come in handy. Lightning condensed. Thunder blade. Too much to handle. A chain between heaven and earth. What was I thinking? A wailing banshee of lightning.
Let's get back on this side.
Pain. I'll try to be more careful.
Charge. Cool. Okay.
Actually, it's always had that attack too. 4 attacks. It only has 4 attacks. Lost the aggro. It's chest and it's main.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought I was already locked onto the chest. 'Cause I think the chest is the...
Weakness.
Yeah.
In here. I'll be saving this one. Astral energy. All right. I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Oh, over this way. Okay.
I think it decided it doesn't want to aggro the player anymore.
There
Oh
we go.
dear.
Didn't mean to do the second one.
I think Nex got tired. We'll show you this boss, but you can't deal with it. Because if there's one thing that the game does, it does that again and again. A lot.
I was holding the wrong button.
Step.
That didn't go down. Sorry, Renault. Didn't know you were right there.
Your entire party is collateral damage. Also, no CP.
Thanks for the heads up.
That'll make things easier.
How am I down? I have 1 health. What?
What would I do without you? Divine!
Switch off and out and switch him back in.
What?
Switch him out and back in.
I call bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm at least gonna throw a life battle at Shionne. Not strategy, edit.
With Law. You're just switching them out to reset his condition.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Feel the medicine working.
Game?
It's waiting until he's ready.
I call such bullshit. Okay, if I'm not actually playing him right now, we'll let it swap. Also, get back up, Dohalim.
That completely ruined everything.
No.
You're doing a battle for 4 people with 3 people? Okay. What happens if you throw a heal at Elfin?
Good question.
Do an apple gel, yeah. Did you accidentally cancel the apple gel?
No. Items. Apple gel.
Okay, so that's not working either.
Dohalim, heal, Alphen. Alphen. Alphen, now is not the time to be sleeping on the job.
Wait. Does this mean as long as you're careful, you can't lose the battle?
See, this is how I feel when someone's like, you can't win this battle. No, I will break the game to win the battle. What skills do we have? Annihilation, sure.
Wait, can you use Alphen's boost thing?
Ah. Hey, they brought him back! Good call.
Also, it broke his immortality. Was it worth it?
Obviously, you're losing because you haven't played enough Double Cry. Yes. Because it means I'm not playing Shionne, one of the healers. So she can stick with doing healing things.
Oh, core break. Is it gonna have another tactics change?
Most likely. It seems like it's had 2 per quarter. Fine, I'll heal myself. Dicks. How much are you missing? 3,500. Oh, grape gel it. Okay, yeah. Can't actually go back to the core yet. That was not supposed to have a third one there.
So it has the same number of attacks, just has a different set.
I dumbed.
Yep.
You're not Elfin. He dashes up to the person, or the target.
Yep.
Does that do anything? Didn't think so.
Can I make a recommendation?
What's up?
When you do boost attacks, focus on your backup characters. Because they don't stay on the fight after doing their attack. Whereas the deer has a lot of nearby attacks. So-
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, Dohalim not doing a revive. Let's do that manually then. I think he just started casting a revive.
No, he just
Okay.
finished casting Revive because...
Well, no, it didn't look like he was doing revive. Oh, well, might have just seen it wrong. Wait, did I break the immortality? Yeah, I took damage. Never mind. Haven't I?
You should be normal. You were immortal because you were in death state. Uh?
Do we just take this?
Take it. How's everyone today?
Like, I think I figured out why it stopped chasing me.
Oh.
I'm having a headache. Yay. No!
Aw.
Not yay.
Hope your headache goes away.
Ha! Who needs teammates? How? How did I break it this time?
Because it never got fixed from when it registered you as dead.
How did that break, though?
Well, here's the thing. Your character died, but for some reason it went to 1 HP. Because of that, you could not be dealt with as something dead because... So, like, complete it. You couldn't be dealt with something dead because you were at... You had HP, but you couldn't be dealt with as something alive because you were marked as dead. So that enemies don't keep on stomping on a corpse, they also unmark a player as an attackable entity. So they never explicitly go for the player.
I get that part. This question is, how did the 1 HP thing happen?
Were you using a flaming art when it hit you?
I was charging one, yes.
I think there was something about the timing of your flaming art with its attack that I think it tried to deduct both, but it only deducted your flaming art. So you got stuck with 1 HP. I think it's I think the attack that did might have hit you on the exact same frame as you were reducing your HP for, and confused the game.
Mad attack for standing still, and I don't want to do flaming attacks because who knows what might actually. You are dead, guy, but this does not mean you are dead, guy.
Orochi just does a lot of hits in his spot. I get he'll dance around some still, but I think you'll be able to control it enough.
Orochi's Gale Force.
Yeah. See if you like go from the... Feels like its hitboxes are a little weird for collision. I guess.
I think its hitboxes are a little weird for just standing still and letting someone wail on it.
Yeah. We're not I question whether we would be counted as cheaters. The game glitched on its own. It's not like we did it on purpose. We're taking advantage of it, sure, but...
Like, if this was intentional, 100%, I would be like, no, we'll just, you know, restart this.
Yeah, we would probably show it off and then not do it. But this is just next bricks the game.
Yeah, it has to happen at least once a game, right?
Yeah. Is this the first time we broke tails? I think that's like second or third.
What was the first one then?
I don't remember. I don't think this is what people normally mean when they say a fight's free.
So Sword Ring Alpha, the final upswing on that is actually cancelable.
Huh.
For better or for worse. Like, if you have another skill lined up, it'll ignore the upswing. Makes it good for combos, in a way.
Huh.
Oh, well, it didn't keep the hit count going. Maybe not. So, how's everyone's lives been going? We might be here for a little bit. Does he have any other fire attacks?
Yes, he has a lot.
Fire arts, not besides just the flame strikes.
A lot. Bad news.
Which is why I said other.
Bad news. He has none. That's Earth. So it looked like you were able to do it just fine. Wait, could you do another one? Right now? Okay. I thought your ability to lose HP from doing it was also glitched. That was wrong. Dramatic target practice.
And then we item, we lemon gel back up.
The strategy has continued to live despite disapproval. It has become the only way to act within reason.
Oh, Double Demon Fang doesn't have one. At least at the moment.
I think you just don't have it unlocked.
Yeah, which is why it doesn't have one at the moment.
You said at least at the moment.
Yeah, because we'll get it later.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free. Dragon Swarm! Explosive Ring!
You have to hit.
Yeah, I don't get that much control over it while he's dancing around.
You have to figure out which attacks are good for leading into fire attack. Because there's the one where you jump up and then you slam down. That's our favorite one for it. I think it is one of the rising attacks.
Rising Wyvern?
That's no, that's diagonal. That's diagonal down.
Could try it anyways.
Yeah, it might work.
Rising Wyvern! Rising Phoenix!
I don't think it does all of the hits, but at least does a couple. Oh no, it looks like it's catching it.
Strike! Rising Phoenix! No escape!
Silly.
Sword Rain Alpha!
So is it more efficient to do one big flaming strike or a lot of little flaming strikes?
This should do it. Rising Wyvern. Rising Phoenix.
That went so much further.
Come to think of it, I don't think your allies were wanting to cure you either.
That went that way. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, do a minimal one before actually committing so that you know these things.
That seems fine for range. Especially with the semi-auto pulling me right there. I think multiple minimal. It doesn't do that much of a boost.
I guess it's multiple minimum technically is more efficient, but one heavy means that you could get the heavier hidden.
Yeah.
Kind of like a reverse of the philosophy of making rapid attacks weak in games.
Just a sec, boss. My phone is going off. Give me a moment.
The bomb.
Oh, thanks for waiting, boss. I'm back.
To actively cause confusion in the system.
What?
Stepping away during a fight. And with aggressive system. Cyberthus is aggressive. Once again, the game handed it to us. We didn't even know something like this would be a thing. We'll take it, but
That's basically my philosophy. Like, if it happens unintentionally, I'll take it. If it's something I would have to very intentionally, or like if it's something I very intentionally tried to do, it'd be like, yeah, I'm showing this off. Now let's do it for reals.
honor doesn't take handouts. Good thing I'm not honorable.
Honor is overrated in a fight to the death.
Immortal Elfin.
It wouldn't surprise me if it's known. That doesn't, like, if it is the Flaming Edge thing, it's... Oh... Might have been even less of a damage boost than I thought.
You might want to heal in case it has a threshold special effect. You don't want to die because it happened to do a mandatory effect.
Yeah, but that gets rid of all my low health boosts. Well, it went to the next health threshold.
I couldn't find anything for Immortal Elfin.
Did I find a new bug?
I think so.
That's impressive.
Oh,
Hmm.
I just had to change.
Search terms.
Yeah. I did my first attempt at the Lord Balron fight. Oh yeah, the guy with the ice sword.
Yeah.
Okay, did my first attempt at the Lord Balron fight. In the second half of the first fight, all my attacks started doing 0 damage. the only.
It,
No, that's a different one.
is that Voron being immortal or Alphen being immortal?
Oh, I got a bug during boss rush side quest. That was Alphen died but was left with 1 HP but was on the floor dead. So I switched to him and tried to do anything, but nothing happened. His boost attack in my ear rose up. I did the boost attack, it worked. Now I could control Alphen again, and he was immortal, always with 1 HP. Easiest achievement ever. Oh, your character might not even be able to die.
Well, Flaming Edge won't take you to 0, so...
So it doesn't really matter.
And yeah, that's what I was saying before. It's like, wait, did I take those hits or did it go through me? You remember me questioning that before, right?
Hmm. Nobody responded to the boss rush glitch. Oh, there's a whole thread on it in game facts. Anyone experienced this? Alphen was stuck on the floor with 1 health in battle. I couldn't move or anything, so I think he was supposed to be dead. So I tried switching him out using items, but couldn't. Then I used his boost strike and he got up and was able to control him again, but he's stuck on 1 health and pretty much can't die. I was on auto also, but just stand still. Happens during the cameo fight. Oh, so don't let the AI take the reins because it doesn't even understand he's alive. Which is consistent. Why have a flaming edge when you could be flaming dragon?
Sword Rain Alpha.
Happened to me once, stuck out 1 HP, I couldn't die to anything.
I know we're going past the normal break time, but yeah, this happened. Let's be fair, we could probably, you know what? Let's go ahead and do the break. I'll probably still be here. If it gets low health before the break's done, we'll come back. You're not missing much, just hearing this in the background.
I got it twice. One was Alphen, the other was Dohalim, but both were AI controlled.
Rip. But Dohalim? And it can't be might not be a flaming mission. Anyways, we'll go on break. We'll see the results of this fight when you're back from break. See you in a few minutes, everyone. You don't mind waiting for us, do you, Meneas?
Thanks.
Hey, look, we're back. Still not dead.
Make sure to heal up,
Why?
just in case. So things.
Anything in armor is all mine.
I know, but you still should.
When it's on like 1 health, I'll do it. I'm getting low health boosts galore. Like you see all those little pips under the health bar? Those are various buffs. And that's from low health.
Here I come! I'm not done! Start up!
Hey, look, we're back.
You're mine! Ha! No escape! Ha! Slice! Start up!
Wiki should probably accept that Nyx breaks games.
I think the system has accepted I break games. Let's just do Peach Gel.
That did it! Start up!
And last but not least, do you want to do the honors?
Sure.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Hey, look at us getting an achievement. A well-deserved achievement.
Oh.
What was with that creature? It was some sort of a Zoogle that could control light. Rinwell, do you think that could have been...
The true form of the Phantom Flower? No, it couldn't be.
What makes you so sure?
Because...
What the...
Whoa!
What the hell is that? Is the enemy back for more?
Nope, Aurora
Whatever
Borealis.
it is, it's freaking huge.
You guys, calm down. It's okay. It's probably... No, it's definitely the Phantom Flower of Navira. I read about it in that book we found earlier.
Is there honor in this
It was
Prince Zuko?
described as a mysterious light floating up in the sky. It's not dangerous at all. In fact, this is the place it was first discovered.
So that's how it got its name then. You sure it's not some enemy astral art being cast at us?
The reindeer attacked us first.
Positive. I think it's just a rare and unusual weather phenomenon more than anything else.
Cyslodia obviously used to be covered in darkness around the clock. But with that gone, I guess that's why we're able to see this again?
You could be right. It's so pretty though, isn't it?
Sure. But it's so big we could have seen it from town just fine, couldn't we?
Well, sure, but still.
Hey, who cares where we saw it? I'm just glad we got to see it at all.
That's
Besides,
the attitude
that
to have.
Zoogle was what kept us from seeing it before, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Hush.
It's such a gorgeous night sky here. You should really bring Shionne out to watch it.
Right. Right. I'll, do that.
It took a lot to get here, but I can't help but feel like a dream of mine came true. Thanks, Law.
I didn't do all that much, really.
Well, I still really appreciate it. It made me really, really happy.
Thank you.
Hey,
Look,
you
I
know
think the double demon fang strategy would have just worked.
It looks like you can see it even better from over there. I'm gonna go check it out.
Huh? Hey,
Staying away
wait.
and double demon fanging.
Well,
And throwing resources at party members. Yay, we got a Glutton's Guidebook. And an Astral Flower.
This shall be a feast for the senses.
Hey, anyone else think this might be a touch too dangerous?
Ridwell's right. We should fall back to regroup and try again later.
A little late.
So what's the guidebook actually give? It'll be under your field guide. Artifacts. That is close to the top. Glutton's Guidebook. Quick Effect Boost 3. Fancy.
Looks familiar. I don't think we've seen it anywhere. Never mind.
Is it automatically active? I'm assuming it is. Cooking effect boost 3. Yeah. I mean, we could probably just rest at a campfire.
Okay. Fish first.
Is the blazing sword okay?
A little water's not going to hurt it.
So with
Judging by the stench,
oh yeah.
I'd say the animals at the ranch are all grown now.
Hi, Repigs. Check weapons while we're here. No.
So we have a bit of a system.
I completely forgot that we still had Dohalim on the pork fork.
Was that hurting our performance a lot?
I don't know.
How much XP did we get out of it? Bit of a system. Yeah.
Alright,
But also, apparently we have a lot of dishonor.
Dishonor
Technically,
was-
it was one act of dishonor.
Dishonor was a fun game.
Oh,
Dishonored.
Guess I'll polish up my sword. Shionne, could we talk a moment?
You okay,
he
Sam?
froze up.
I'm looking forward to breakfast.
You good?
I'm trying to remember what to say.
Morning. Ready to head out?
Oh. You tend to handle management things, whereas we tend to handle the scrap fights, just like doing fights that nobody else would want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else being you.
Hey, it works.
Mm-hmm. Never finished the first, never played the second despite owning.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Cyberthos loves management on Nyx.
Your
I
joke, but
I like doing inventory management. Like, I
and Call of
really,
Duty.
really enjoyed Backpack Hero, and part of that was just managing the inventory stuff. Inventory Tetris is very enjoyable. So, we ready to go on?
Save on a separate slot for this. And then I guess we'll use the first slot for continuing. Are you an RE4 player? Sus. The game had major inventory Tetris elements.
I don't think I have played RE4.
I think you'd like it.
Do I have it?
Well, it's the moment of truth.
I have it through someone else's
This lady
library.
better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
What was last suggestion?
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but, well, it's as good a name as any. From now
No.
on, she'll be known as the Fall Knight.
Not as any.
And he's a bad name.
Okay, people. We have two goals.
All right, let's
First,
ride
we
the
need to get to
any.
Lenegis and make the Renans finally
No,
leave Dana
let's
alone.
call it the
And then we need to figure out the truth
Fall
behind
Knights.
Shionne's
Yeah,
thorns
Fall
and
Knights.
find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, and let's go.
We're off to see the wizards.
It speaks. Let's blow up Lenegis. I think that's what we're working on.
Nyom. Nyom. Fall Knights, the in-universe version of Fall Guys.
That's a way to remember the name.
Ooh, space.
You're
You know,
weird.
I can still hardly believe it.
You can't go to
Believe
space
what?
without referencing the Space Corps. It's
I
not
mean,
allowed.
Just look at it. The whole of existence crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach
Cringe.
Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there.
May.
Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Oh no, the party has been disbanded.
We just had a heart-to-heart.
Everything okay, Shionne? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
Space.
You're really weird.
You're really weird.
Not as weird as you are.
You're weirder.
No way. You're weirder.
You're weirdier. First order of business. The toilet.
Where is the bathroom of this? And Kira. Sarah.
Sarah?
Sarah.
Eventually you'll learn your name.
And I mix it up.
Because Kira's been on a few others' minds lately.
Hmm.
And it's spelled the same way your name is pronounced.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
I'm normal.
Glad to hear it.
Well,
That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. Well, that should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still,
how many alarms did you
whether
sleep
you
through?
meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence and needing to learn what it entailed?
1,000 alarms or so.
Of
When you
course.
think about it.
That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be
Who would
free.
want to sleep that long,
If
though?
I've learned anything on this journey, it's that.
We could go for
And the
300
one
plus hour now.
Who brought me along was you, Alphen.
No,
I'll
I
forever
don't want to
be
sleep.
grateful to you.
So many games to
Well,
play.
we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably
You should
getting a
look
little
both ways
ahead of
before
myself,
crossing,
huh?
though.
Let's take things one step at a time.
Maybe don't be through looking the other way. If you only look one way, you might get hit by something.
Snake eater.
Snake?
Snake?
Snake.
Snake. Snake game.
Hey, Alvin, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
I think
It's a
that's reasonable.
Starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alvin, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that,
kids.
seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
Kind of looks like you're playing Mass Effect. Yeah. Tales of Effect. Masserize.
Don't spare the little detail like that. Law's already flustered enough.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what
Yes, you
triggered
could
my
have
thorns
the
or changed
fantastical
form they
technology.
took. Day in,
Madness.
day out.
It's still
every
firmly in the
single
past,
day,
see?
one test after another.
Oh.
I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me
Thanks.
whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it?
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched.
Nope.
Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse. But then they did.
Jack.
I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse.
You can do it.
Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition?
Thank you.
Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure,
Your
I
plushie was your
survived,
best
but
friend.
with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion.
That's...
And that's when it hit me.
Yeah.
If I was going to die,
Thank you,
then
Lime.
it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But Why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice
Yay,
your
now arm
life for...
curls.
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save
I
the
think he's
world
looking
from
for a third
destruction,
option.
then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of
Check.
sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along,
Felt
isn't
a
it?
lot more in my left arm.
Not just me. We're in this together, remember?
And thanks for the
This fight is
hydrate as
yours
well.
too, Shionne. If we're going to win, everyone has to
Stop
win.
eating the controller.
There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah.
Stop
You're
eating the
right.
controller.
No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this. Together.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how
But
it had been
fantasy
7
covers this
years,
as well.
That's all.
You mean since
What?
you
No, it
became a
doesn't.
lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality
No,
as
no,
any
one or
other.
the other. They can't combine.
Tell me, though. You too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
Like, it used to be that fantasy and magical fantasy and technological fantasy used to be able to be side by side. Not all the stories done it, obviously, but it just was a thing. That was just fine. But now people treat it like it's it has to be distinct and segregated. So fantasy is just basically about imagined things. It's not, oh, there's no such thing about technology. Everyone has to be primitive society. No,
Yes.
the genre is just imagined stuff.
Primitive only.
Oh my god.
Primitive only.
Like, it's just imagine things. And guess what futuristic technology is?
Can't imagine
Imagined.
tech. Nope. Can't imagine tech. Only primitive.
It's really stupid, especially since several magic concepts just remodernize a primitive society anyways. Everyone imagines things.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Gym soreness is a
Before we do that, just what exactly should we
have
expect when
crystal?
we get down there?
Kisara has a point.
Said gym soreness.
Now that I think of it, I don't know the first
GYM.
thing about Lenegis.
Oh,
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Wow, that was rude of them.
Very well.
Jonathan.
First
Not
and
giving you the grand
foremost,
tour.
Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Oh, so
Enough to determine
Rinwell
someone's
should
social rank,
be
you
able to
mean?
control everything.
But
Got it.
astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to.
What?
Yeah,
Still,
normal.
even the lowest rung on the
Cyrus,
Renin ladder is
totally
considered
normal.
superior to being a Danon. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shionne?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
No, I
Fair
think
point.
because of the thorn sheep might have been.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
I've been dragged
Sorry.
along, that's why.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments
No,
much?
I think that's just the way
Wait
she
a
thinks.
second. Are you? He
I
is!
think that was just a
Well, I'm
straight up
blushing.
compliment,
I am not!
not backhanded.
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this red woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
Stop. If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shionne, we'll find them.
You were messing with the joysticks when I was tabbing and checking some stuff.
Hmm.
Thank you. It was messing with the window it was tabbing to.
Hmm.
Try to use some of the cutscene times where control doesn't have to stay there to double check things that need to be checked.
Yeah, sometimes a normal person is just kind of dragged along.
There's no one here.
That's the premise
I
of
wasn't
several
expecting to
manga.
welcome that, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while
I'm just
we're
playing
here.
with whatever controls are given to me.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
That direction.
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately,
Lion's
we
not
just
wrong.
so happen to have a sovereign in our midst.
Yay, we have a sovereign.
In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
And you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
What do you have to lose now?
Shionne's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
Members who left have returned to your party.
Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renans. The capital city where Shionne
Ooh,
and Dohalim used
what's
to
the
live, no
console?
less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling?
Damn.
Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zoogles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
So those will be our
There's
encounters.
Zoogles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't
Aw.
afford to let our guard
Zoogles
down
sound
after
friendly
all.
and helpful then. Oh, we can just go back.
That's what games always do these days. Point of no return. Are you sure you want to go? You better be prepared. By the way, you could head back whenever you need to.
It's like,
It's a convenient feature, but it does kind of undercut the finality of going somewhere.
like I don't mind that we're able to go back. I might, because didn't it say like, hey, you won't be able to return for a while? Or maybe that was Lion's warning. Is it the game or Lion?
They are one.
Not trying to throw shade, Lion. I'm just trying to remember. Both. Okay, both. Well, the game saying it and just like, here, talk to people. Now you can go back, is underwhelming. Lenegis.
Not doing great. Did that shift for deploying that thing damage things?
What in the world?
It's not the world
This being
anymore.
Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
And you've already been recognized.
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let
Ugh.
alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself, okay, Doe?
Okay, though. Rhymes with Play-Doh. Now I'm thinking about Play-Doh. Tasted so good.
So who's Faria?
I actually expected a reaction from Zero over there.
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it,
She's
we
off
can
being
ask them about the Red
normal.
Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shionne.
I
We
don't think
can't
she's
have a
being
bunch
normal.
of Danans poking their noses around.
Good
Focus
idea.
on the game.
I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
Immersion. Switch to Dohli.
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process.
Destroying people's
It's just-
livelihoods.
Power.
Unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
They did for Lenegis. An afterthought.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry, that probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
It reminds me of
Yeah,
a
You're
gaseous
right, Shionne.
giant
I'm sure we will.
that spreads doom and unlife.
The sun?
Well, the sun would be a gaseous giant, yes.
I mean, I guess it's more of a plasma giant. A deadly fart.
Not that much.
I want to argue, but I can't.
Is Lenegis done for? The residential quarter is falling apart. Huh, Lenegis counts as other.
I guess it won't be a sprawling area.
Let's see, so 3 citizens to talk to and a map action. Everything all topsy-turvy in the residential quarter. There are lots of injuries. Stuff keeps dropping on people and they're so falling down. I don't like that sentence. Like, grammatically, it's fine, I think. It's just that sentence I don't like. Stuff keeps falling on people, and they're also falling down. Ugh.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the
Right.
Zeugles have stopped heeding our
Too bright.
commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed.
That's one way to put it.
The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
What's in here? Oh, shiny.
Shiny.
Strawberries. We found strawberries. Kill the old man. I don't think
Nice.
it'll let us do that.
You're a little bit violent today, Lion.
Well, we are kind of in a city of racists. Map action. Ah. We are doing the opposite of killing people. In all my years, never have I seen such potent healing arts. Thank you so much for taking the time to heal an old woman like me. And we get a fancy parfait recipe for it.
No selling the crystals.
Everything
Their
will be
family.
okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Can your person?
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Unlike us in our outfits that are completely normal
Yeah.
or
What
written in
about
society.
down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
You're ignoring the minor NPCs.
Well, yeah, they need to get back to mining.
Duh.
Zeugles suddenly stopped listening to our commands. As soon as we turned our backs, they bolted for the horizon. Nothing like this has ever happened before. We have to put the crown contest on hold. We can't carry it on while things are like this. Do you disagree? That the miners should be mining?
Objective thing. Oh wait, there was a Pickup thing.
That's why I'm running around looking for stuff.
Oh, it's just healing.
That's why I was running around looking for stuff before talking to the objective thing, known as a person.
It's just an objective thing.
This person who doesn't mind. He knows too much. He must be
Is
silenced.
everything okay? You look a little lost.
Hmm? Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please
Just
forgive me.
gloss over that real quick.
There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
The Renan
Well,
stuff.
we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
That's not
Given
good.
everything that's happened
I
to
mean,
their city,
most of this hasn't been
the
good.
people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said Zoogle would stop listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing
Religious
happens devoid of a reason.
commentary.
To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before.
We will in a moment,
Here,
Stream Elements.
The Sovereign's
Shut up.
total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shionne, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I.
Oh.
In which case,
Huh.
I would imagine that... But no,
Is
surely
Rena
not.
actually
Can it
inhabited
really
even?
be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Is that why they're getting astral
Hold up,
energy?
what are you getting at, Dohalim?
To try
Assuming
to
what I believe to be correct.
terraform it.
It's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
And they get
Not
other
if the
resources.
Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly
Religious
over
commentary?
Lenegis
Not
from
in
so far
my
away?
Jerpig.
What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign, though it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered, until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction.
Wonder how much of
Let's
this
go
will
find
actually
it.
get wrapped up by the end of the game. Or if we'll have questions lingering.
Oh shit.
Nope. Nope. We are doing our break. When we come back, we'll watch more dialogue go through.
I think his or her really has to... Like, I agree that there is so much less clunky. I think that his or her adds to mysteriousness because there, your pronouns could just be there. But his or her indicates to not really knowing. And his, her, there would be very clunky as well. It might just be the way I've been brought up, though. It's just a minor opinion.
His or her adds a layer of uncertainty, basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, I said it in a lot fewer words.
And I said that basically first thing. I just wanted to elaborate.
Anyways, we'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll be exploring more of Lenegis.
And see you, everyone.
Back in a few... Rars, we've got a scene to watch. Yeah, Naira stepped away for a moment. She will be back in a sec. But we're back for the last 50-ish minutes of exploring the starship. Woo! Rah! Helps if I'm tapped back into the game. I'm gonna look at the skill panel a little. Bam. What? Guard Vengeance? Has damage taken while guarding onto the strength of guard ignition moves. Oh, that's actually really good. Wow. I noticed that earlier. Level up, level up. Save. Or perhaps a .rar file.
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
That's
It is
just
the way
how
things have
beaten
always
into them
been,
it is.
so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
It's called being a lord.
It's called friendly intimidation.
That too.
Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do
Damn
it?
it, Law.
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
I can't say it's wrong.
Let's see. An obsession
Can't say
with
it's
being
wrong, though.
elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
Damn!
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
She is a power top.
Kisara is also a troll. Hey, we took 2 steps. Time for another cutscene.
If nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do.
Oh.
Oh, wait, this one I actually have to do input on. Huh.
She has normal. Or a Fitabo.
I mean,
Propagator.
up on the Renan homeworld.
Yes, that sounds metal.
Their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Was? Is?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now.
My cabbages!
Balsif, Cannabelt, Almadria, and Volron.
Oh, they probably wouldn't care.
Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
They were too obsessed with power.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
It isn't that convenient. But are they going to be willing to talk to Danans? Oh. Is that actually the next main quest? No, subquest. Okay. Well, let's get talking. You want to know which lord I support? Why? Are you out canvassing for someone? I'm with His Excellency, Erwalzi Teldilis. You probably know him better as Lord Balsef. I can see why he changed his name. I know a lot of people consider him to be a giant brute. Believe me, I realize he can be an aggressive man. But what those people don't realize is how much he looks after the members of his house. It's fair to say that House Teldilis doesn't enjoy much esteem. Those of us who serve it will be the first to admit that.
Yes!
But His Excellency always stands up against any who would mean us harm. Of that we can be sure. His efforts in the crown contest aren't only for his family, but to improve the standing of each and every member of his house.
Yes!
I owe so much to His Excellency. I could never dream of serving any other lord.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
I'm gonna say... Light dude. Lord Dohalim, you returned. Ah, and I see you've brought aides with you. Do you remember who I am, my lord? Surely you must, yes? Not only do I support House Ilkaris, oh, well, I was wrong, but more specifically, his lordship personally. So much so, I've been trying share my appreciation of his lordship to any who will listen. In fact, I was planning to publish my extensive writings on the subject through this very terminal for all to read and enjoy. But since the lines appear to be cut due to the recent tumult, I've been unable to upload them. I know, since you're all here, I'll just read them aloud. There exists a most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from the famed House Ilkaras, and his name, Lord Dohalim. Music is his passion, the arts his great love. The scores of boorish, uncouth men of this land cannot begin to compare to his magnificence. So refined and majestic is his posture.
Everyone looks like they're out of patience for her.
Why, the mere thought of it brings me to ecstasy. Once he becomes our sovereign, Rinna shall bloom anew, ushering in an era of prosperity for our grand civilization. Until that glorious day comes, I shall forever be praying for his victory, morning, noon, and night. Well, what did you think, my lord? I poured my whole heart into it, hoping to capture your essence. Wait, I forgot to mention anything about his lordship's love for collecting things. I must take this time while the lines are down to append it. Only then will my masterpiece be complete.
I
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Well, I never. To think anyone would try to tear me away from House Valkyris.
What?
What do you want? Don't tell me you work for Lord Dohalim or that dreadful Lord Almadria, do you? You don't? Well, don't scare me like that. To answer your question, I come from a family that has served House Valkyris for generations. Indeed, I'm doing all I can to support Lord Ganabelt behind the scenes so that he might emerge victorious. Many think him to be a cruel man, but I insist, they're utterly mistaken. Though I won't deny he can be strict. He puts Rena's interests in front and center like no one else. Why, he advocates that rather than stay confined to Lenegis, we should get on with colonizing Dana and expand our horizons. That way, we will become masters of both worlds, and overturn our current minority status on Dana's surface. That is why he seeks to become our next sovereign. Tell me, is there a greater, more noble ambition than that? I think not. It is a pursuit of power for the advancement of all our kind. It is what makes him an exemplary lord, a model above all others. Though I was unable to accompany him myself, my 2 sons have been blessed with the honor of joining him on the surface. As their father, it fills me with endless pride.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people, yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
Just one moment. I have to check on a thing.
I'm going on mute for a moment as well.
Okay, so let's
Okay. Let's see. This. These. No, the buttons. Buttons, please. Okay, yeah, so need to find people who support the other lords still.
You know, when you actually said the elemental people for a moment, I was like, well, wait, Estra's not mean. Like, Fosa hasn't been around for a while. Oh, I see this.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed, the effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Okay, cool. We saw that this is a better way through, so we need to go back real quick. You're truly blessed to have a lord who shows such care and concern for his people. Oh, so we're not going to tell them that it's okay to go through. Okay, that's fine. Don't leave him going back on his word. No big deal. Just a running lord.
Pardon me.
One moment. The This area falls under the sole jurisdiction of House Kynaris. I must ask you to depart at once. Surely you don't claim to be ignorant of our famed house, ruled over by the esteemed Lord Almadria. If so, I urge you to listen well. In fact, I bid you listen carefully regardless. Have you ever noticed how in the history of Lenegis, only a few women lords have emerged to compete in the crown contest? Many have theories as to why this might be, but Lord Almadria quashed the doubts of any naysayers through sheer might. In fact, not only did she usurp her father and previous family master, she also removed her older brother to claim the seat for herself. She is a woman who stops at nothing to get what she wants, who gives her enemies nary the slightest opening to strike. Truly, Lord Almadria is a woman of talent. No one in all Rena better exemplifies the virtues of our nation's meritocracy. Soon the age of a glorious woman sovereign reigning over Lenegis shall be upon us at last.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
Yikes.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
It also sounded like championing her no matter what she did, just because wanting a woman sovereign.
Alright, said it.
And yes, getting diversity, sure. Trying to force it just because with no merits towards the person whatsoever.
Well, let me try saying it.
This is going to sound... I'm not good at putting this idea into words. I see a red line of aggressive tactics in these praises.
Okay. Seeing women as equals. Normal brain. Helping... They have no word for now. Help get... the dialogue's throwing me off. Help the women get their foot in the door in places. Big brain. Women must be over men at every means necessary because they must be treated as better than men because they were treated badly in the past. Small brain. Just saying.
Ridiculous.
This feels like a Volron supporter. How loathsome. I was just reading about Volron. Can I help you?
Okay.
I was always an ardent supporter of Lord Erwagil Hilderis myself. Were it not for his sudden death down on the surface, I likely still would be. In my eyes, Lord Erwagil is the true Water Lord. I don't believe for a second that he perished in some accident like they say. As for how Volron runs Ganeth Harris, don't get me started. I hear he enslaves not only Danans, but even his fellow Renans. We may live in a society where to the victor go the spoils, but his actions go against what we as the people stand for. Besides, just what sort of family line is this House Ignacary of his anyway? I'd never heard of it until he came along, which means they must be among the lowest dregs of society. That such an ignoble lineage could suddenly produce an astral artist capable of ascending to lordship is unheard of. None of it makes any sense, not to mention all of the upheaval around here of late. What is happening to our people? So I was wrong. He is not a Volron supporter.
People on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganeth Harros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary, remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders. carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you, because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Also,
Realize
for the
the.
others, they all had their
I
own
saw that.
circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Which is the most horrifying part.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danon doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shionne and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust, as a fellow human being above all else.
That's the spirit. SP! Incineration wave! Oh, right. Increased evasion distance. Wink. Cool. What's the rest of this map look like? So we need to explore every nook and cranny for all the possible goodies. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Anything over here? Nope. I'm a man who discovered the wheel and built the Eiffel Tower, metal and brawn. That's what kind of man I am. You're just a woman with a small brain. With a brain a third the size of us. It's science. I mean, it's hard to argue with science. Impossible, really. You can't deny science. Every nook and cranny? How about every crook and nanny? I mean, we're probably crooks. And
There's
Kisara's a
something I
nanny,
just don't get.
effectively.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfricht Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfricht whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelegion, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But
Make
If
good
even the
points.
victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
You sure you don't want to keep chatting, Law? Okay. Over in that corner. Time to find the crooks and nannies. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Doe?
A deer?
Faria.
A female deer.
Faria? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still... kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
You know, I don't think she's his biggest fan. Found the nanny, Drake. Oh.
Yeah, we should have stuck around so we could ask about the Red Woman.
Really should have.
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Yeah,
Did
that's
you
fair.
mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Alright, so Red Woman was back down this way, right? Let's go back and ask. Oh, she's gone. Really wanted to ask so many things, too. I was expecting to have to do more fighting by now.
Yeah, with the Ziggles thing.
Shiny!
Probably not.
We're gonna need to think about bed. Don't blow up the Death Star tonight.
Not matter us wanting to or not.
I feel guilty about fleeing while there are kids out there fighting. There's no need to worry about them. They come from a higher ranking family than ours. That makes their astral arch stronger than ours. They're simply fulfilling their duty to society as members of the ruling elite. I know, but it still doesn't sit right with me. Civilian Park Zone. Uh-oh, that can't be good. There's an inn over there. We've got ourselves an inn. Ooh, shiny.
Not alarming, there's a lot of lore regen between here and the last place.
That's fair. Sell crystals.
You have to eliminate Lion first.
If only they were worthwhile to sell.
You both.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renin sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Blow up crystals, you know? Solid.
Is something the matter,
solid thing.
Dohalim?
Solid idea.
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music.
I kind of
Entranced by
really
her
enjoy
playing,
how much the butterfly
I helped her
wings mess
overcome
with
her
some of
sense
the
inferiority
framing.
and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing.
It really is.
Besides,
Good
it was
call,
that way of
Shionne.
looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord.
Cringe.
Tarnagan had
Hey,
fallen for Faria.
some cringe is
By
alright.
becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. She would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shionne's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Yeah, Dohalim,
Frank as
jeez.
always.
Take better care of your
But
mental self.
I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shionne. I promise
he
he
though?
does.
Does he know?
I hope you're right.
I think he does know. Uh-oh,
Elfin.
someone was doing a spy.
Yeah?
I never
Yep.
appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
Should, coulda, woulda, didn't.
Let's go around this way to look for shinies. That's the most important thing during this very serious period. Is to look for shinies.
I fucking agree. He should have said something, but
That ship has sailed. And trying to bring it up now probably wouldn't do much.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Do my eyes deceive me, or has my shop been blessed with Lord Dohalim and his servants? Is there anything I can help you with, my lord? Any bets on being able to take care of the farm from here?
yes. So
Wow.
Renan comes down to Donna and this goes, "You there! Acquire the rat pig meat, set down 5 sheep, and 3 cows." I know you can't literally do that, but whatever.
Suckers for authority like minions type of this. How do they manage the ranch from here?
With Renan roll, clearly. Oh my fucking god, really?
Alright, what can we buy? Time to do a restock after that very difficult boss fight that we had earlier.
How'd you at the fucking edge of your sheet? Sheets. Yes, your sheets.
Had me at the edge of my sheets.
Fuck my life. I don't know unless it's just any authority.
Ooh, diamond. That's worse. Better. Better. Better.
Don't fucking explode the crystals, yes.
And mixed. I'm gonna keep the current one on. Are we able to forge better weapons now? Ooh, the Gladius Rin. Fancy. Historia Rene. All the Rene. I'm going to say I read that first part wrong initially and leave it at that. Wait, a pink protector.
Oh, that's pretty amazing.
We need money for it, though. How much money do we need? We need like 2,200 more. I'll just sell off more rat pig meat. We're not using all of that. We're getting more anyways. Yes.
Just really needed that protector.
Yes, we needed the pink protector. Good luck, my lord. We, the citizens, are all confident that you shall do everything in your power to bring a quick end to this crisis.
Did we really just spend that much money?
Yes. Just like every time, Kisara. Goodness, I never expected to be graced by Lord Dohalim and his companions. If there's anything I can do for you all, please, by all means.
It'd have been nice if there would be more.
Did that have it? It's a quotation mark after means instead of a period. Why?
Well, if you're actually asking...
Why?
It's probably an error in the way they did the line. So it might actually have a period, but because of programming oversight, it doesn't actually show up.
This is why I'd make for a great proofreader. It's an honor to serve you all, my lord. Truly. We have 10 minutes. Do we dive in, or do we cliffhang it? I think with how you've been feeling...
Yeah.
And with how little time we have left, who knows how long this next bit's going to be. It's a cliffhanger time. Oh, we need to go kill another boss.
Why?
Because we currently have 656 CP.
We need 10 more.
We need one more astral flower.
Yep.
Anyways, we are going to make this the cliffhanger spot. Hope you all enjoyed the exposition, the lore, though running around the ruined city.
See you later.
We will be back Saturday with Rogue Galaxy.
Oh, this is Big Bird.
I have done a little bit of farming on Rogue Galaxy, so, you know, there will be a few weapon changes and numbers are larger.
I was thinking, like, he would, like with, sorry, let me gather. I thought that they would find a way to skimp out after all of the all the work on game environments there happened. We just thought it would be like a really offhand one-off place where they don't have to account for the characters or the city setup or anything. But no, they actually made it. I don't know why I doubted it.
Yeah, Lenegis looks nice so far.
And its people are nicely terrible. Emphasis on terrible.
So yeah, hope to see you all in the future, and have a wonderful rest of the time zone, everyone. Bye-bye.
See you.
Cursor, please.